Man Ray, a name that resonates in the world of art, is one of the most iconic figures of the 20th century. Known for his contributions to Dadaism and Surrealism, his works have not only changed the way we see art, but have also reshaped the relationship between reality and imagination. Born in the United States and thriving in Paris, Man Ray was a trailblazer in both photography and visual arts, leaving behind an incredible legacy that still inspires artists today. Early life and education. Emanuel Radnitsky, known to the world as Man Ray, was born on August 27, 1890 in Philadelphia. He was the son of Jewish immigrants, his father coming from a line of tailors and his mother an artist. His early years were spent in Brooklyn, New York, where his artistic journey began. From a young age, Ray showed a deep interest in art and was influenced by the culture and diversity of his neighborhood. Ray attended the prestigious National Academy of Design and the Art Students League in New York, but it was clear that his passion for traditional academic training did not satisfy his growing curiosity about the avant-garde. His early work was mostly drawing and painting, but it wasn't until he encountered the world of photography that he truly found his medium, joining the avant-garde. In the early 1920s, Man Ray moved to Paris, a city that would become the backdrop of his revolutionary work. It was here, among the intellectuals and artists of the time, that he discovered Dadaism and later became a key figure in the Surrealist movement. He surrounded himself with the likes of Marcel Duchamp, Tristan Tzara, and André Breton, who would shape his creative vision. Man Ray's unique approach to art was often about pushing boundaries and challenging the conventional. His connection to Dadaism, a movement known for its irreverent and anti-art stance, was a natural fit. He explored themes of absurdity, chaos, and contradiction, which reflected the tumultuous political climate of the era, especially after the horrors of World War I. Photography, a new medium. While painting and sculpture were crucial to his development, it was photography that truly solidified Man Ray's reputation. He had been experimenting with photography from a young age, but became more serious about the medium after his move to Paris. In the early 1920s, he created one of his most famous photographic techniques, the rayograph, a method that involved placing objects directly on photographic paper and exposing them to light, creating abstract images that were unlike anything seen before. His use of the camera was unconventional and experimental. Man Ray didn't see photography as a mere tool for documentation. Instead, he viewed it as a medium for artistic expression, often exploring its surreal qualities. One of his most famous works in photography, Le Violon d'Ingres, 1924, features a portrait of a woman with the back of her body transformed into the F-holes of a violin, combining sensuality, music, and surrealism in one striking image. This was a perfect representation of his ability to blend the classical with the modern and reality with fantasy. Man Ray's work in photography didn't stop with experimentation. He also elevated the medium to a fine art. He collaborated with many notable figures, including fashion designers, artists, and intellectuals, pushing the boundaries of what could be achieved with the camera. His portraits of women, including his famous muses like Kiki de Montparnasse and Lee Miller, became iconic. These photographs captured more than just likeness. They conveyed emotions, dreams, and surreal fantasies. The influence of women played a significant role in Man Ray's life and work, both as subjects and collaborators. His long-term relationship with Kiki de Montparnasse, a French artist and model, served as one of the most influential of his romantic and artistic partnerships. Kiki was not only his muse, but also a collaborator who inspired many of his works, including his famous portraits and photographs. In many ways, she became the epitome of his surreal vision, representing both beauty and mystery. Later, he also formed a professional and personal relationship with the American model and photographer Lee Miller. Miller became a muse for Man Ray, and even collaborated with him on various photographic techniques. She was both a subject of his lens and an artist in her own right, later becoming a successful photographer herself. This collaboration was one of many that demonstrated Man Ray's ability to inspire and be inspired by those around him, as well as his respect for women in the art world. Transition to painting and sculpture. Although photography is what he is most known for, Man Ray never fully abandoned painting and sculpture. In fact, throughout his life, he continued to create in various mediums, constantly evolving his artistic expression. His move back to painting was partly driven by a desire to separate himself from his role as a photographer and break free from being labeled just a photographer. He began to explore abstract painting, often incorporating elements of his Surrealist and Dadaist influences. Man Ray's sculptures also became an important part of his artistic evolution. His objet trouvé sculptures, or found objects, were made from everyday materials that he transformed into unique works of art. These sculptures often carried a playful and irreverent tone, reflecting his Dadaist sensibility. One of his most famous sculptures, The Gift, 1921, was a flat iron with a row of nails attached to it, turning a mundane object into something both humorous and thought-provoking. Man Ray and Surrealism. While Man Ray had close ties to Dadaism, his work was equally influential within the Surrealist movement. Surrealism, with its emphasis on the unconscious mind, dreams, and irrationality, resonated with Man Ray's artistic sensibilities. He was a frequent contributor to Surrealist exhibitions and collaborated with leading Surrealists like Salvador Dali, René Magritte, and Joan Miro. What made Man Ray's approach to Surrealism so unique was his ability to blend the movement's focus on the subconscious with a sense of playful experimentation. His Surrealist works were often imbued with humor and wit, using visual tricks and clever juxtapositions to provoke thought and challenge viewers' perceptions of reality. One of his key Surrealist works, The Lovers, 1936, depicted two figures locked in an embrace, their faces covered by cloth. The image was at once intimate and unsettling, capturing the complexities of love and desire in a way that only a Surrealist artist could. Man Ray's ability to capture these contradictions and emotions through his work made him one of the foremost figures in Surrealist art. Later, life and legacy. In the 1940s, Man Ray moved back to the United States after the outbreak of World War II. While he continued to produce art, his life in America was different from the vibrant Parisian scene that had shaped him. During this time, he explored new artistic ideas, but his work in photography became less prominent as he began to focus more on painting and sculpture. Man Ray passed away on November 18th, 1976 in Paris at the age of 86. His death marked the end of an era in modern art, but his influence continues to resonate today. He has been honored in numerous retrospectives and exhibitions around the world, and his work remains a cornerstone of both photography and modern art. Through his innovation, experimental spirit, and ability to blend the boundaries between photography, painting, and sculpture, Man Ray changed the way we think about art. His legacy is not just in the works he left behind, but in the way he inspired future generations of artists to think outside the box and challenge the traditional notions of what art can be. Man Ray's legacy continues to inspire, challenging the boundaries of art. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this dive into the life of Man Ray, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more artist biographies.